Help us level the playing field. Sign the parliamentary petition today to fuel the growth and fund the game.
Let me take my camera off.
Testing, 1, 2, 3. Mic check. Check, check, check. Is it too far down?
You can hear me?
You can't hear me.
said, bro, she was old, and you went, she's in a...
I told Marcus to put it on the portrait for the wheel. Like the cinnamon challenge. But I'm hoping she'll freak later.
If I had the chance to play against City or Big Town, I'd fucking play them. But then they had the chance to play, oh, no, really.
Hey, Jordan, did I get a good grip of that pepperoni garlic?
Yeah, he did. He did.
Well, good evening, whoever you are, wherever you are. Welcome on a crisp and climactically challenging Wednesday evening down to Kingston Heath for a bit of Nike FC Cup congregation. Bentleigh Greens, who sit at the foot of the National Premier League Victoria Women's, are wanting to wash away league worries this evening and provide the positivity that only a cup run can produce. Seaford United make the short trip down the M11 tonight off the back of a first defeat of the season in Beaumaris at the weekend just gone. Currently in the early promotion hunt in State League 1 South East, they can continue their bright start to the evening with a cup set. Round 5 awaits for the victor tonight, both hoping that this is one where they'll be granted safe passage through. For Bentleigh Greens, it's one where they'll be hoping that their season can well and truly get underway. My name's Ethan Rigg, and I'm joined on commentary this evening by Josh Byrne. Good evening, Josh. First of all, a bit of a chilly one, perhaps, something that could be quite tricky, but a big night ahead for both teams.
Yes, Bentleigh probably more looking forward to this as a distraction from their league woes, as you mentioned. Seaford, chance to topple somebody from 17 places above them in the pyramid, as we politely worked it out earlier. Seaford, they're consistent State 1 team. It's a challenge for them on a Wednesday. They're not used to training and playing multiple games a week. That's probably the one that's going to be the killer. They've got a couple of their regular starters that aren't available midweek, so that's going to change a few. And Bentleigh getting back to full strength after a disappointing loss at the weekend, but a competitive loss nonetheless. Better showing than what they've done the last few weeks. Ethan, who's starting for us today?
I'll take you through the lineups just as we approach kick-off here at Kingston Heath. For the hosts, Montaha Mosley is the goalkeeper, Felicity Georgopoulos, Christina Souza, Paige Clemenson, Rachel Sturton, Candela Ferreira-Bass, Olivia Woolacott, Belinda Stoichevsky, Yuka Sato, Karina Tolios and Katie Taranto all start for a Bentleigh Greens team who are hoping that this evening is one where their season finally gets underway. For Seaford United, they make the trip. Jackie Evans, Charlie Phillips, Mackenzie Brown, Callista Celios, who's been in quite good touch recently in front of goal, Lorelei Tildesley, Julia Barraclough, Rebecca Lenahan, Millie Harbour, Imogen Lancaster, Georgia Morris and Mariam Anvari. So quite the night ahead for both of these two teams. An opportunity to pass through to round 5 of the Cup, both of which will want a Cup run this season. They would never want to have any sort of shortcoming in Cup competition. For Seaford United, though, this evening, this presents them a really fantastic opportunity to get one over a National Premier League side. They haven't been able really to hit too much of a stride to start the season. They were 5 unbeaten, a few draws in that mix as well to kickstart their campaign. But this evening for them presents a really good opportunity.
Yeah, it certainly does. And it's the scalp that everyone is after. They try and capitalise on Bentleigh's poor run of form and struggling league form. And a little bit of a rotation for Bentleigh in goal, but the experience on the field with the likes of Freya Bass, Clemenson, Sato, you would assume and be aiming for a dominant performance from Bentleigh. But cup football, this is what cup football can do, and as per usual, if 90 minutes were not separated, extra time and penalties is what is on the court.
So we've got underway at Kingston Heath. A real opportunity for both of these teams to go into the next round of the Nike FC Cup, and Bentleigh Greens want to make a quick start. Sturton tried to steer it into the channel for Clemenson and wasn't able to. They were looking to get themselves a look on goal within a matter of seconds. Taranto steered it centrally. Sato moved it on, but for a Bentleigh Greens team tonight who are yet to win a game in 2026, they came close at the weekend, just gone against Heidelberg. They had a goal late on ruled out as well in that fixture. So an opportunity for them, for a side who have been showing better performances, to gain a really big morale-boosting victory.
Yeah, it certainly is. They built a team that were VPL ready and got a reprieve late on and told, nope, you're competing in the NPL, had to readjust, and there has been a bit of a readjustment and a couple of injuries. Clemenson didn't start the season, Sato's been in and out, they've had a number of injuries in the defence as well, so it's been a tall ask for them, but they've been competitive in games. It's now a bit of consistency is what they're after, and if a victory here, who knows what can happen in the second half of the season. Transfer window is opened. They've already signed one. Oxley's not playing today, unfortunately. I believe she's not allowed to because of the competition rules, but promising signs from her on the weekend. So if they can snag one or two more, who knows?
It's a Bentleigh team who be looking to have some of their bigger names back more consistently. As there is Clemenson with a sharp turn. She looked to steer it down the line for Sato immediately. Just wasn't quite able to. But for Seaford United, 5-match unbeaten run came to an end in Beaumaris at the weekend just gone. Closely contested game. Two teams who are in that early promotion push in State League 1 South East. They'll be hoping to quickly wash away any sort of sour taste that remains from that. It's a tidy take from Clemenson, and she is charging. Immediately had Ferreira Bass beyond her. Step up for Sato. Now she finds Ferreira Bass. Wanted to steer her way down the line and did so terrifically. Clipped into a dangerous area, brilliant ball. And the header flicked wide from a late arriving Rachel Sturton.
Yeah, good opportunities already. Yeah, pressing forward, and that would be certainly a comment from the coaching staff of it would be try and get that ball into the box. Rachel Sturgeon can get on to the end of it, and that's what she's renowned for. And what they've been missing early in the season, she was in and out of the team injured. Now she's back. It could turn their fortunes.
Bentleigh hoping to make a bright start so far this evening. They're a side who, in the MPLW, have battled the drop. They're doing so this season. They did last season as well. Hasn't necessarily been the sturdiest of times for them in the top flight. But all of that, as is the case with cup football, goes out the window on a night like this. It's maybe an opportunity for Seaford United to get themselves forward. Wallicott's challenge was a good one to hold it up. Sousa then came across as well.
You spoke of Beaumaris. The keen eyes from Beaumaris players and coaching staff will be on today's game. They await the winner of tonight's game. Could be a all-state one affair, or it could be a another state one of game for Bentleigh. Sato with a nice run forwards. Bentleigh will be probably told to maintain possession, and they have a lot of irregular league games where they may not do so. So it's a chance for them to test a few things out. Confidence in possession. Kevinson turns well. Can she get across? Beats one, tucks it across, and doesn't beat the front post. And I must say, Seaford also do not have their usual starting goalkeeper. Jackson, I'm not 100% sure, not available this week, or this midweek I should say. So a outfield player has gone in goal by the looks and sounds of it.
Toronto went to steer it down the line. You mentioned there's such a difference in setup between these two. Bentleigh Greens certainly being used to heavy football training in the week, playing multiple times a week. Seaford United, this cup trip not a rarity for them this season. They were successful in both of their previous rounds. Defeated Darabin 2-1 and Ever United 3-0 on their way to meeting Bentleigh Greens this evening. So not something that's become unusual. It's been a frequent fixture so far in 2026. Freya Bass's flick on to Clementson. Freya Bass had it fall back for her. Tried to poke one centrally. Set back to Sousa at the edge of the area and nearly spilled before being gathered. But for a Bentleigh Greens side who, as you mentioned, Josh, haven't had a lot of the ball this season in a lot of the games. They've been a very bright start.
Yeah, certainly, and the combination, as we just saw there, with Sato and Clementson and even Freya Bass as well, has been quite prevalent down this camera side wing already, and a couple of us where a lot of the crosses have come in. Clementson and Freya Bass and Sato, very much stalwarts of the NPL, relatively many other clubs. Clementson was Alamein last year and did very well at Alamein last year as well. Freya Bass has played for a handful of teams, and Sato came from Bentleigh, which is no mean feat. Consistent player in top teams. Got the pedigree.
Bentleigh side who are flying this season as well in the same division as Bentleigh Greens. So there were some good pickups in the off-season for them. It's just starting perhaps to come together at the midway point of the campaign for all of these National Premier League sides. Crossed that threshold at the weekend just gone, for all of which in league action, cup competition. A little bit of a different beast in and of itself. So set on for Taranto. Steered it down the line tidily for Sato, who just worked a yard. Tried to tiptoe her way forward. That attack was put a stop to, cleared only as far as Stoichevsky. And coming across tidily to challenge was Harbour. Still a positive start for Bentleigh Greens. They've looked to want to find themselves ahead in the evening's early exchanges. Looked to lock down the right-hand side. They've looked to feed Sato, Freya Bass and Clementson frequently, and here is Sato once more. Set on for Georgopoulos, who's happy to see it through to Woolacott, and it's given away, and perhaps now Seaford could spring an opportunity on the break. Bentleigh Greens in retreat, Tolios one of them. And eventually the challenge with her and Woolacott put a stop to the attack, though. Seaford United, the first real promising opportunity they've had to get at Bentleigh this evening.
Yeah, it'll probably be the story of the night that they will be sitting 10 players behind the ball. But if they can make a counter-attack something, turn counter-attack into something, that's probably going to be their opportunity. Set piece, something along those lines to get the ball into the box. And fizzles out to nothing in the end, but they can box them in for these kind of situations. Who knows what can happen? But Bentleigh do have the likes of Woolacott and Tolios who do like to push forward more defensively. As they're looking for Clemenson down this wing. She wins the race, tucks it inside. Bass lays it off, tucks it top of the box, opens the seas, and it's tipped in. Bentleigh lead early doors. That is exactly what they would have been after. Tolios with the telling touch, just enough to be out of the reach of the standing goalkeeper. Inside the first 10 minutes, it has been one-way traffic mostly. Tolios with the final touch. And is it an uphill battle for them now, Seaford?
Such a gorgeous move as well. Brilliant end to it. Just the way that it was worked down that right-hand side. Found its way to Ferreira Bass, whose touch was smooth. Kind of slickness that Bentleigh Greens haven't been able to showcase consistently so far this season, though when it comes together, it can turn into something quite gorgeous. And for Karina Tolios, who's been in the goals in recent weeks and has made quite a promising start to the season, another one to the tally. And on a night that's a bit grey and a bit gloomy down in the southeast, there's a bit of brightness about Bentleigh Greens. Certainly a lot of brightness about that move.
Yeah, certainly. And we did say that it's been one-way traffic down this right wing, as that one's a lovely threaded through ball again. Chilton a bit too heavy on that shoulder. Few in the crowds not agreeing with the referee's decision. And adjudged to be fouled by the officials. And that physicality is probably going to be a good test for Seaford. They probably won't be used to it too much in State 1.
It's a Bentleigh side who have made quite a bustling start. Not a quick 1-2 punch. You could really feel confidence flow through that side. If they're able to, from Celios, it was a tidy turn, gave it away to Woolacott. Bentleigh again looked to surge forwards. Speared into the channel for Sturton. She just wasn't quite able to get there. Georgopoulos wanted to drive it into her direction. And a much brighter start for a side just in need of a bit of a pick-me-up at this stage in the season.
Yeah, certainly, and Tolios is usually listed as a centre-back. Well, that's well gathered. She's played in many of a different spot this season, and may have found her cooling as a box-to-box midfielder in the last couple of weeks.
And here is Tolios once more. Going to clip it for Ferreira Bass. Clear down the line to Harbour, who had 2 to go round. Tidily kept and well threaded down the line. Challenge was put in retreat. Seaford do well to keep it. Maybe an opportunity for them to get forward. Phillips went and won it. Speared into the channel towards Millie Harbour, who had gone further. She wasn't able to get into it. And Mosley went to claim it. Flung it down the line for Taranto, who breezed their way beyond Harbour, moved it on to Clemenson. Wanted Taranto on the return, or just a fraction too heavy.
It's constant build-up play from Bentleigh, and wave after wave of attack. Seaford have been up to the task so far. Yes, they're 1-0 down, but it's possession's all one way. Tolios, goal scorer, says his options. And it's Clemenson. Looks to feed the pass, and that one's going to be offside. Sato just broke the line too early.
Evans came rushing out to claim it, wouldn't have mattered. Flag had been raised. Lovely little clip over the top from Clemenson just to open up that space. Here's Lenahan. He's had Clemenson charging at her. Celios went to flick it on. Harbour and Taranto battled. Celios was there to see her out of play. Approaching a quarter of an hour ticked over at Kingston Heath. Bentleigh Greens with an early goal. Courtesy at the end of a wonderful, wonderful move from Karina Tolios, whose effort just had too much on it for Jackie Evans. That is the goal that separates these two. And Seaford, who spent a lot of the opening 10 minutes on the back foot, started to give themselves a bit of a charge forward. That's given away, however. And now an opportunity for Clemenson to get in behind. Tilsley got a good boot on it. Here is Brown. Tried to steer it out the other way for Morris. Was well won by Souza. Went to fling it down the line for Ferreira Bass. And it's cleared only as far as Tolios. Georgopoulos clipped it into a channel. Again, just had far too much height on it.
I must say, I'm also enjoying that your number 9 is playing as your centre back. I don't know if that's a shirt allocation or a choice, but always good to see a number 9 playing as a centre back.
Can be the joys of this cup competition. Though for Lorelei Tilsley, who is Seaford's number 9 this evening, has had quite a bit to do early on. It's made a few tidy challenges. As they again look to spring themselves forward. Celios gave chase. Really tidy touch from Tolios. And they look to steer it into the channel. Once again, just starting to get on the end of. Bentleigh's front foot approach has paid dividends so far once this evening. Had a couple of opportunities. Let's have a look at a second. Ferreira Bass left it for Clemenson. It's a good challenge across from Brown.
Clemenson popping up on both wings and centrally as well. She's clearly been given a bit of a license today to drift, and it's working, and it's worked well.
There's been quite a lot of fluidity around that front three, not just with Clemenson, but for Sturton as well. She's gone to get the ball in the channels. Ferreira Bass sometimes has dropped centrally. She started on the right-hand side. So Bentleigh have been looking to play with a lot more freedom and a lot more flow. So far it's paid dividends, and here is Ferreira Bass. Steered it for Sato, whose footwork was tidy. She then went down. Bentleigh Greens wanted a penalty. That shout got waved away.
In saying that, the league has started to show that now they've got those attacking threats back, that they can start to challenge for realistically for games now, and the consistency can and should be there with Clemenson, Sato and Ferreira Bass fully back into the squad. Just laid back to the goal scorer. She can have another hit. She does, and tamed one this time on a less preferred left foot.
The deflection took the sting out of it for Tolios, who's hunting an early brace. Woolacott won it, lost it. That's Celios, who went to steer it centrally. Woolacott's flick might favour Harbour, who momentarily had a glimpse. A good retreating challenge from Georgopoulos. Stojcevski steered for Clemenson, flicked it tidily for Sato, who can charge. Two streaming forward, one of whom is Clemenson. Brilliantly done in the end by Evans to deny her. Clemenson was charging.
That hasn't gone out.
And that might stay in for Harbour. Everybody stopped and thought it went out of play. All but Millie Harper, who kept it in by a whisker and has now won a free kick.
Good save at one end and switched off from everybody at the other end. And gives them a chance to swing something into the box. Put Bentleigh's goalkeeper under somewhat pressure, if they can.
Seaford United looking for a leveller and just looking to throw a spanner in the Bentleigh Green's works. Zelios' free kick. This is their first real look of the evening. Zelios with depth, too much depth for anyone to go and get on it. More of a teasing delivery than a tangible one from the Seaford United captain.
Borderline too well hit that one was. You needed to just take a little bit off that. But it shows that they can put the ball in the box, give them an opportunity and they can threaten. Lucky ricochet. Emerson can drive forwards, one-on-one. Gets pushed wide and going to get at least a corner out of it. Something for the effort.
Tidily done by Tilsley in defence. And the Greens have got a corner. And where Seaford had an opportunity from a set piece at one end, Bentleigh Greens fire a stroke of fortune on the ricochet, have an opportunity to do the same at the other. Can they double their lead from this set piece? You would just feel
working on the edge.
Just feel a bit of relief in this place if something came from it. This is Sousa's corner. Set dangerously to the near post. Went over the line and in. Bentleigh make it 2. A delivery with depth. Took a little flick on its way through. Ferreira Bass is claiming the final touch. Bentleigh 2 up just after 20 gone.
And that's the danger they can pose. They've done that a couple of times this season, Bentleigh, even in the league. Not too bad from set pieces. Trouble the best teams.
For Seaford United so far in this game, they've had to be defensively quite diligent. That first little lapse in concentration, it's coupled with an unkind stroke of fortune as well. Ricochet that played Clementson in, but resulted in the corner. However, Bentleigh 2 up and have created the opportunities to be just that. And here is Freya Bass, who went to steer it into the channel once again. Gives Sturton something to chase. And now Taranto is giving chase just to keep it alive, which he does. Measured down the line. Now on for Clementson, who got it and gave it back to Georgopoulos. And then Sato, Tolios. Wanted to steer it for Sturton and quickly had to go and gather it was Evans.
I think the expansive pitch here at Kingston Heath might be a little downfall later in the game as well, and later in the half potentially as well for Seaford. State 1, they wouldn't play on many pitches as this size. It is a relatively large pitch, especially as the rains now start teeming down. It's an ask for them midweek. They're not used to it. They'd be only doing light training on a Tuesday and a Thursday anyway. They don't play many night games under the lights. It's a different kettle of fish.
Here's Taranto, who's got Harbour to go at. Did before losing out. Tolios. Well, he got it from Sturton. And just kept her cool and then moved it on to Georgopoulos. That's brilliantly done. Bentleigh Green's just starting to hit a real bit of flow. It's ready for Sato. who steered it on once again for Clemenson. She fancied to go herself. Didn't quite catch it cleanly as she would have liked.
Teaming down now. Glad we're under cover.
No better night for it. For some of us, it feels like home. For those out there, though, Ferreira Bass on the charge. She wanted an early go herself. It's quite an easy gather for Evans, who has had a lot to do in this half, has done most of it rather well. That's Georgopoulos with tidy feet. On for Wallacott. Clemenson. Georgopoulos. Stoichevsky. For Wallacott once more. Much more patient approach for Bentleigh. Wallacott given room to roam. Georgopoulos tried to steer it for Ferreira Bass. Up to win it was Tildesley. And an early effort from Souza. Again, one which wasn't able to catch Evans out.
Bentleigh won't mind the early efforts on just a greasy, skiddy ground with a potentially second string keeper. Who knows how the ricochet could come. He'll be making sure you follow that ball in. That was a half decent ball in there as well. Sato, smallest player on the pitch, manages to win the big head up.
Tolios happy to set it back for Stoichevsky. Wallacott. Sato. With quick feet just moved away from Barraclough. Again, it's steered for Sturton, and Tildesley is a little uncertain and has a bit of a problem, which she got out of quite well. Just as Sturton was charging down, waiting to apply that pressure. Lorelei Tildesley recovered rather nicely from what was momentarily an awkward one to deal with. It's Ferreira Bass. Clemenson returned it for Ferreira Bass, who looked to thread for Sturton. She nearly again had it fall her way. It's quickly mopped up by Evans, who went looking. It's a great touch from Taranto. Got in ahead of Zelios. Ferreira Bass gave chase in vain. Rachel Sturton left it as she was offside.
Yeah, again, the first instinct from Bentleigh going forward, which is good to see, which is what they haven't been able to do during the season. The combination's already starting to work. It's a big coming together. And again, referee's happy to play. Seaford an opportunity goes in vain to go forward.
After a bit of a Bentleigh Greens blitz to start this game, you can feel the assuredness and a settlement that's come in. There is Sturton with tidy footwork and battled hard, and now Tolios, who moved it on to Wallacott. She fancies a charge forward. Souza. Her initial ball cleared away. Here is Tolios once more, who went to clip into the channel and give Clemenson one to chase. Just again had a little bit too much on it. With that rain, the pitch just slickens up a little bit. Ball goes on quicker. For where they've been measured for much of this first half, Bentleigh Greens. Not the first time, perhaps, they've been a little bit too hasty to go forward. Seaford, as it stands, 2 down with a bit to do, but not necessarily out of this game. They're down the line for Marimanvari, lovely touch. 3 to go around, evaded the first 2, then lost out to Stoichevsky. Taranto, Georgopoulos, moved it on to Wallacott. Clemenson happy to return it. Georgopoulos just pokes it round the corner for Tolios. Out the other way was Taranto. Her early ball couldn't find Ferreira Bass, who almost had a look at the second time. Cleared only as far as Georgopoulos. Not once but twice. And then helped on its way by Charlie Phillips. Woolacott started the next wave. Got it back from Georgopoulos and threaded it through for Clemenson, but the ball just had a bit too much on it once again.
Clemenson probably would have been offside, even if she did get onto the end of it. As the assistant had momentarily raised it. She didn't get it, but nonetheless would have gone to nothing.
Half an hour gone at Kingston Heath. Free kick was set in by Celios. As well, won by Souza. Then evaded a slide. Just trickled out of play. She was going to catch back up with it. Barraclough's had a bit of play to break up in this first half. Again, doing so rather well. From Ferreira Bass, a little bit of a loose touch.
Seaford are happy to just slow the play down a little bit. Bentleigh going a bit gun-ho for their liking. They've slowed themselves down. Goal kick took a while. Throw-in's taken a while. They're happy to slow down. Limit Bentleigh's exposure to the ball.
Clemenson has got room to charge. Has got away from one, then two. Ferreira Bass made the run on the far side. She went early. And nearly, ever so nearly, caught Evans out low. Just had two runners before having a go. Did Clemenson. Sturton was central. Ferreira Bass was charging on the right-hand side. Early effort nearly paid off. It's been an evening where, for Bentleigh so far, almost everything they've done has paid off. Here is Harbour. Flicks it on for Amvari. Cut out well by Stoichevski. Amvari will get a second look. Celios was offside. Amvari went to try and win it against Stoichevski. Sato steered on for Clemenson, who went to thread it into the channel. For Rachel Sturton to chase. And Jackie Evans drew her all the way before gathering.
Good sweeper keeper there. She's done that occasionally quite well. Hasn't been too stuck on her line. Happy to come out and scoop the ball up. Bentleigh rushed that throw and they had time and the ability to potentially switch play, but just continue down the line.
Ferreira Bass. Taranto took a couple of yards. Ferreira Bass unable to dig it out. Celios' ball took a ricochet and its way all the way back to Evans. Who went to look for Celios in return, found her quite well. She had Tolios to go round. And is now starved of options, swarmed on by three in green. Ferreira Bass went to challenge. Phillips steered it down the line. Stoichevski mopped it up. Cleared away by Tildesley. Headed on by Georgopoulos. Now Ferreira Bass. It's a second look. By the clearance of her initial ball, could steer it into the channel. Souza was lurking, but wasn't able to get on the end of it.
Continued pattern of play. Bentleigh calling any forays forward from Seaford. Seaford just looking to try and consistently get a few passes together. When they have, they've at least moved forward and got into the final third, but it's been few and far between.
On the flip side of it for Bentleigh Greens. An opening half an hour and a bit that has gone so far all bar to plan. Here's Freya Bass for Tolios. Again, it's set back for Stoichevski. It's a side in need of a win this season, yet to get one in the Channel National Premier League Victoria Women's action. At the moment in the Cup, all is going to plan. Stoichevski forced to clear her lines, however. Perhaps an all-important mid-week boost in confidence. They go to South Melbourne on Saturday. An early kick-off at Lakeside against the South Side, who have been truly making hay at home recently. Another real test for this Bentleigh Greens team. Sousa went to chase, slid into the channel, only for Woolacott to go and rekindle. Stoichevski again. Taranto. Tried to thread it for Tolios, instead found Freya Bass, who dropped off. Sturton was streaming. Here is Taranto. Freya Bass. Patient from the skipper. Woolacott obliged her with a run. Clemenson waited on Sousa. Was mopped up well initially, and then through to go and clear it was Brown.
It was good to see Bass dropping deep to dictate and control play. And from near side, opportunity down the far side, and they came through their skipper dropping deep. It's what they'll be happy to see.
Sato. Set back for Stoichevski, who has been the starting point of many an attack for Bentleigh Greens in this half. Harbour's challenge only benefited Tolios, who then skipped beyond her. Challenging from Tildesley was a tidy one. Stoichevski threaded it on for Sturton, whose touch was a little loose. Recovered by Sato. On for Georgopoulos. Taranto, who got away from Zelios. Taranto then had to go and battle to win it back. Cleared only as far as Georgopoulos, who's happy to switch out the other way for Woolacott. Sato. Georgopoulos clipped for Freya Bass. Flicked on for Harbour. Sato to reset once more. Woolacott went on the overlap and then took over. Clemenson had just pulled down the line. 2 to go with, wasn't able to go further. Harbour looked for Amvari and made it work momentarily before Sousa went and picked her pocket. And trying to tiptoe her way further forwards, couldn't go further than Morris.
She's going to cast a lone figure up there, number 28. She's done okay to try and hold up the ball and drop short to try and get it. So she's going to cast a lone figure up there today on her own, and the opportunity just to hold up the ball every now and then is probably what the conversation will be at half-time for Seaford. Give them an opportunity and an outlet up forward. Instead of that one, might be an option. Well turned.
Sturton did smashingly. And then it was cut out by Tildesley. Taranto had nowhere to go. Set it back for Stoichevski. That's a lovely ball on for Sato, who was held up by Harbour. Stoichevski steered it on for Sturton. Zelios in retreat. Taranto happy to clip it back for Rachel Sturton. Left behind by Clemenson. Cleared away once more by Stoichevski, but it'll be coming straight back. Quite an element of control Bentleigh have exerted on this first half, and there's just much more confidence in how they're looking to play the ball around this evening instead of what we've seen at times in National Premier League action.
Yeah, certainly they've got a bit of fire up there, and that should be a free kick. One of the goal scorers today, Tolios, fouling the skipper. And again, they'll give them a chance just to catch their breath. They won't be used to this situation of subs only. They're usually a interchange style substitution, so a lot of these will do more of a rotation policy for the substitutions, so it's a different way of playing as well. Midweek, potentially got to play your 90 minutes. It's a big ask.
Varry was battling with Taranto. It was found well by Celios. Phillips' throw. Could Seaford maybe pinch one on the stroke of half-time? Just to make life a bit interesting for Bentleigh Greens. That's a smashing turn, though, from Clemenson, who's gone away from one, away from two, and now away from three. Lancaster in retreat, can't. Fizz to the near post. Evans with an awkward one. Sturton picked it up and nearly steered it home from the tightest of angles. Flashed across the face.
What a run from Clemenson, and Burton almost turned something into, or nothing in itself, something. And now they've got a bit of work to do defending, and they do so but illegally. Looks like Freya Bass is down behind play, and this would be the main concern for Bentleigh. Yes, winning the game, but getting through unscathed is probably a big one as well. Had a troublesome start to the season with injuries. You really don't want your main players going down in a game like this.
That's just the last thing they would want. Just when they, as you've mentioned, had a few come back from injury as well. Somebody as influential as Ferreira Bass go down injured. You get the feeling, whether she can carry on or not, her night will be over regardless. They would do it precautionarily.
Certainly, it looks like someone's already on the bench with a bib off.
You can see they would, even if it's nothing serious, would save her for Saturday for the trip to South Melbourne.
Certainly. She's up, which is a good start. Problem is, she is somebody who will not want to come off.
All captains want to continue. All leaders by example. So for Candela Ferreira Bass, Bentleigh may not want to risk that. She's okay. They're momentarily down to 10. Seaford free kick is cleared. Sturton was lurking. Ferreira Bass waved back on, so Bentleigh don't go the change. You get the feeling, though, that might be something discussed at half-time. Whether or not she will play any further part. Lenahan helped it on well. Set back for Tildesley. And Lenahan wants more. Starts to Taranto. Sturton got away from Phillips. Steered it into the channel for Clemenson, who too evaded Phillips and then evaded Tildesley as well, who was retreating. So Evans was out to go and gather up a loose touch.
Again, Clemenson instrumental in everything Bentleigh's doing going forwards.
A bit of miscommunication will benefit Ferreira Bass. And Sturton will make her move and steer it wide of the far post. Two good looks in the final 10 before half-time for Rachel Sturton. Once she tried to steer in from an incredibly acute angle. That one more of a drive from distance. Both agonisingly wide of that far post.
Not sure if the FX Mike would have picked it up, but Seaford coaching staff disappointed. They don't want to concede this close to half time. Be even more of a Herculean effort to get back. 2-0 still gives a sniff. One of the most dangerous scorelines in football, they say.
Taranto's throat once more for Ferreira Bass. Sato. Harbour got a foot in, but only as far as Taranto. Stetton tried to clip it back for Harbour, and Vari gave it away to Georgopoulos. Woolacott. Clemenson. Georgopoulos away from Harbour. Well, for Woolacott once more. And Vari just came to press. Tolios got a foot in. Slachevsky, Sato. Tolios. Tightly won back by Bentleigh Greens. That's a lovely ball for Sousa as well. Had to get there on the slide as Morris was in retreat. Seaford close to the break, only 2 down. A bright opening 25 from Bentleigh Greens, and then a more settled second set. Though here was Clemenson lurking. Tilsley got a boot in. Celios. And that'll be that as far as the first half goes. 2 in 25 gave Bentleigh Greens the start they dreamed of. Tolios and Ferreira Bass, both on target on what's been quite a crisp and at times inclement evening. There's been a lot of brightness and a lot of warmth to the way that Bentleigh Greens have played. Half time at Kingston Heath. Bentleigh Greens 2, Seaford United 0.
I swear to God. Right, that's training. You don't let hug. Yeah, exactly. Thank you, Bill. That's bullshit. Fuck this.
Fuck, there's more players over there than there was at the reserve training on the floor. Keep going, bro. Keep going, bro. You're going to lose. You're going to lose someone, bro. Jay's 6'2". You yelling at him.
Yeah, you're right. Realistically, if you come to play soccer and Bailey takes a training session, I think I'm going to retire anyway.
No, actually, it was a decent training session. No, it was a good training session. It was actually good. It was. But you're making us sprint on a Thursday night, 2 days before a game, and our leadership group ages are 42, 37, and 30.
30? Are you 30?
Are you 30? Yeah, pretty much. I got a month left.
If you get sprints, the coach has to do it.
Yeah, I agree. I'm all for sprinting on a Tuesday.
If you're injured, mate, don't
I'm
just
all for
fucking
sprinting on a
play.
Tuesday. Thursday before the game. Pull up good on it. He's got a ball. He's got a ball. He's got a ball. He's got a ball.
We're on.
We're getting on the pitch, bro. You've got the ball. Now are we allowed on the pitch?
Yeah, how many blokes are you going to take a pick here? Who goes first?
Well, the way I see it is if I can't walk through that tunnel, I'm going to get
There you go. Let's go. Go on. 3 years old, bro. He's going 2 knee slides, one off the pitch, one on the pitch, all photos. That's a good
If he doesn't get the photo, that's a good. Cover dragon. Who's going to shoot?
Get back in the good books.
Oh, Luke. Luke, shoot.
Go on, Cal. Go on, Cal.
Shoot!
Look, you do it. Do it. Do it. Do it. I'll give you $50.
They want to see it.
I'll give you $50.
That's cool.
Supposed to fucking knee slides at halftime of a women's game in the corner flag.
I'll pick you. Ask him a question. Say what type of night is this? Ask him. And if he doesn't say it's a crisp and albeit actually clear evening.
Can we get this mic lower? Can we get this one lower? I want this one down here.
You want better sound effects?
I fucking want.
We'll give you some like.
You're going to be the reason we
Can I hold?
off live.
Can I hold this one? Dude.
Can you give a shout out to our friend watching at home in the second half? You just give a high Connor. You can do it yourself. No,
Ladies and Connor.
It means more coming from you guys.
Alright.
That's you said that's the effects more. You have it a lot.
I'll get this fucking mic out.
What was his name? Connor. High Connor in the second half.
Connor the.
Seaford boys.
We actually call him Connor the cunt.
Fuck. I hate that. Bernie, he's the reason I left Bendy City that little fucking hug. Just coming up.
I've messaged him to let him know to make sure he's watching.
This little
Guys,
cub
better
right
do
there.
this whole
It's not right here. Catch me up there.
Couple shades of red at Bentleigh Greens, who lead lower league Seaford United 2-0. Can you tell the cameraman's an Arsenal fan? What a day for that club. First league title in 22 years, across the other side of the world, but here and now, Bentleigh Greens lead Seaford United 2-0. End of an imperious and imposing first half. They have got themselves halfway in to round 5, and well, for the performance they put in the opening 45 minutes, Josh Byrne, they thoroughly deserved it.
Yeah, certainly so. And you'd be wondering how much longer till they start ringing some changes, potentially earlier than they might have expected. Get some fresh legs on and get confident. Some minutes into and confidence into some other players as well.
Now there was the one talking point towards the end of the first half. Whether Ferreira Bass would come out for the second 45, popped a little bit of a knock before the break, went down, continued on. She has not made way. She's continued to stay out. Bentleigh not wanting to sub off their skipper. Quite the interesting call, considering it is only 3 days until they head to South Melbourne to play them at Lakeside Stadium. That's the start of a rather tricky trio of fixtures for them. Boxall and Burundara coming up too. So they're playing a lot of the teams towards the top end of the Channel National Premier League Victoria Women's. So for Bentleigh Greens, there is that want to make tonight a convincing win. But at the same time, there must come a time where self-preservation enters the picture.
Yeah, a win nonetheless is the minimum that they'd be asking and that they'd be wanting. And how it comes is up to them and the coaching staff. And the subs were warming up at half time, so money will be on. Relatively quick changes will happen.
Final words in either camp before the second half. Seaford needing 2 to get right back into this cup tie. The Bentleigh Greens, 45 similar to the one that preceded it, might see them through. So halfway there are Bentleigh Greens. Seaford United needing something a little bit special if they are not only to get themselves back into this Nike FC Cup tie, but to keep their opportunity and to keep their chances of a cup run alive. 2 really, really impressive victories to get them to this stage. They will ill want to throw away all of that cup progress for 2026. First time they faced a National Premier League opponent. They will be hoping it's not the last. It'll need an inspired 45. But for Bentleigh Greens, they're halfway to facing Beaumaris in the next round. Souza just about kept it in. Sag Harbour in retreat. Tolios, Ferreira Bass, who had tidy footwork. Slid it down the line for Sturton, who got it back from Souza. Sato with an improvised flick found Clemenson. The return was cut out by Tildesley. Bentleigh Greens going for a much more patient approach to start the second half. We saw them start the first half in quite an attacking flurry. They got 2 in 25 minutes and just looked for a moment as though Seaford United were at risk of being blown away. They gathered again well. You get the feeling similar sturdiness and more is going to be needed if they are to get themselves back into this cup tie.
Yeah, I think it'll be much the same script in this second half. But this is where the coaches earn their money, and the conversation would have happened in Seaford. And even the crowd are urging a bit more fight from Seaford. It's a good home away from home support. It's only a short trip down the, what was it, M11, did you say?
Mornington Peninsula Freeway.
Peninsula Freeway. It's only a short trip.
It's quite the travelling Seaford set this evening. They so far have seen a spirited, albeit unsuccessful opening 45 from their side. That travelling contingent will want something to cheer about, something just to give Bentleigh Greens a bit of caution about come this second half so far. Flags up on the far side. Had such a good start to the season. It would be back-to-back defeats in all competitions for Seaford United. For the first time this campaign, they return home to face Barton United this coming Sunday before a trip to Aspendale and then hosting Monash. So a mixture of fixtures for them, where Bentleigh Greens is quite a test of their top-flight mettle. Seaford's is an opportunity to cement themselves in the early chases for promotion in State League 1 South East.
Rightly so, they consistently strong women's programme at Seaford. They're immensely proud of their women's programme. As that one swung in and gone through the keeper, straight through. Freya Bass swings it in, and Evans, who is standing in as first choice goalkeeper today, was beaten by that one at the front post. And something from nothing.
Might that be the insurance goal that Bentleigh Greens sought after? A real moment of misfortune for Jackie Evans, who had quite an active but quite a solid first half. This evening is not a moment she would like to remember. For Bentleigh Greens, though, 3 may be too tall. They've got one eye on round 5, though Seaford are looking to respond in kind. Celios's ball took a deflection, and it took the sting out of it for Mosley to go and gather. Here's Tolios, who started this whole thing for the hosts tonight. And able to steer it down the line for Sturton, who did well in retreat. Tolios recovered it tidily. Woolacott guided on for Georgopoulos. Sato intended for Georgopoulos. Freya Bass, that's a lovely flick as well. Tolios had many streaming forwards. She went an early effort on her own. Evans was there to gather. She speared it long. Sousa will see it out of play. And there was at least one change made by Seaford at half-time. Anna Duncan's on for the second half. So where Bentleigh Greens didn't rotate or reshuffle the pack, the visitors more than happy to. As they still searching for a way back into this cup game. Brown's in a hurry with the throw, and Vari had 3 around her. Sousa mopped it up. Very patient start to this second half for Bentleigh Greens, who've got the goal really that they craved early, to take any sort of Seaford sting out of this half's early passages. Sato off the loose touch. Freya Bass for Clemenson, just a little bit behind her. Glad Seaford to get the numbers back, to get the challenge in. Just a bit of confirmation. Georgia Morris, the one replaced. The night ended at half-time. It's Clemenson, who had 2 to go around, perhaps too tall an order. It was won by Harbour. They found its way on for Celios. And Vari the only one further forwards. Duncan was making her move. Challenge from Taranto, a good one. Harbour left it for Celios to try and steer it centrally. Far too much on it, and Mosley was there to go and gather it. Sturton nearly put too little on it. Tolios made it work. Moved on to Georgopoulos. Lovely turn from Freya Bass. Sturton then went to take over. A touch too heavy. And Brown back in time to clear.
Just after safety. Didn't want to risk turning. Sousa was trying to be cheeky and take it the opposite, miles back instead of miles forward.
Tolios tiptoeing. Send it back for Woolacott, on for Sato. Woolacott once more. Sato, initially with a tidy shift, forced to set it back. Phillips did well to close the door, and now Woolacott's on a run. She fancies a go herself and scores a lovely fourth. Fine footwork and a fine finish.
Lovely driving run from the centre back there. Has that killed the game? Put it into the 4. No one closed her down. Gave her a licence to just keep going. And she can strike it. She's shown it in the past and rifled that one home.
Olivia Woolacott with a wonderful hit. 4 goals could be good enough for round 5. For a Bentleigh Green side who themselves now are on track for a first win in the calendar year across all competitions. And now, with them feeling that sense of security, Freya Bass will come off.
Yeah, rightly so. Bit of self-preservation. A couple of key players coming off. Double check on the far side of who this second substitute was. Get confirmation as they go. 3 subs. Sturton's third one. We'll get confirmation on who the second one was after Freya Bass as well. We'll double check with a bit trickier with no 4th official and no board. Always makes it a bit trickier.
Kasha Normington introduced. One of the changes for Bentleigh Greens, who have 4 and who have got themselves all but into round 5 by this point in time. Evening of real turnaround. Anastasia Theodosiou as well, introduced into it. Good set of minutes for all of this lot in cup action as well. There's Duncan, up on Woolacott. Tolios mopped it up. Georgopoulos, back for Mosley. Stoichevsky, who's taken the captain's armband, speared it long. Souza will get there as well. And clip one down the line for Normington to give chase. Souza went on the overlap momentarily. Normington warded Duncan away well, but only as far as Tolios. And now Harbour, who pokes it on for Anvari. Woolacott in firmly. Theodosiou in secondly, and more effectively, Normington went to steer it for Sato. And Evans was quickly off to go and gather it. And Vari went to flick it on. And then went sliding in on Souza.
You love to see it, get into it!
And gives away a free kick.
It's a little bit of frustration, even though she has a wry smile on her face. She's cast a lone figure up forwards today, had little opportunity, and when she has, she's been swarmed by 3 or 4. Good encouragement from the Seaford men's team standing below us. Apologise for any colourful language too, I must add.
Souza on for Tolios. Now Woolacott, who's had quite the night. Goal to cap. Quite a good performance so far from her. Given away to Celios. Stoichevsky was in retreat, as was the third of the Bentleigh Greens substitutions, Sticklebrook. Seaford just with a little opportunity of their own here. Maybe to salvage something from this cup tie. To give those who've made the journey something to smile about for their travels. Hit away by Woolacotts just as they got into a dangerous area. There's one on well by Tildesley, who then lost out. Georgopoulos. And it's speared into the channel. The run was made, the flag has stayed down. Terrific challenge. Just to stop Normington, who was charging forward. Woolacott mopped it up. Tolios. Woolacotts. Souza. One into the channel. Tolios will give chase. Evans won't get there. Tolios went round, was forced to the corner flag. Set it back for Sato, who spun sharply and nearly got away beyond Tildesley, who cleared.
Evans almost caught. Lucky it was a little heavy touch. Otherwise that could have spelt disaster.
Souza once again. Brown went to get a foot in. Souza kept it going. Set it back for Sato, who tiptoed terrifically. Sato had a go and whipped it wide of the far post.
Did the hard work and flashed it across the face of the goal. Probably disappointed with the effort at the end.
About to tick over an hour at Kingston Heath. Bentleigh Greens led 2-0 at half time. They have added 2 since then to all but cement their spot in round 5 of the Cup. Opportunity perhaps for them to go on a Cup run this season of their own. With how league form has shaped up, this a much needed performance, a much needed win, considering it stays this way. Here's Sato. Moved it on for Tolios. She went to poke it for Normington. Evans was there to gather it and then give it away. Cleared only as far as Theodosiou, who went early and didn't catch it cleanly.
A few tired legs starting to creep into Seaford's team at the moment. Now played. A lot of the players wouldn't be playing an hour in one stretch in one go. There's the ability to rotate in their normal league competition.
On for Sato. Celios went to get a foot in. Sato then went and won it back and went to steer it into the channel. Normington went down and wanted a free kick. That shout was waved away. Here is Celios. Thari the only one further forward. Harbour was arriving too. Slachevsky in retreat. Celios got it from Phillips's clip. Celios. Barraclough, touch a little loose. Normington got under it and then got the second flick on it. Celios fancied an early go. Musley couldn't be too certain, and then at the second scramble prevented the corner.
Celios' good strike and not too afraid of putting the ball in the back of the net. She coming off a brace on the weekend against Beaumaris. So yes, it was in vain, but nonetheless still bagging herself too.
Been her and Charlie Phillips who have started the season quite finely in front of goal for Seaford United. Haven't been able really to get them into this game this evening. Though Bentleigh Greens have an opportunity. Spearing forward is Clementson. Normington at the edge of the area, shifted away from one, when the chip, oh, it's lovely! 5-star finish for a round 5 bound Bentleigh Greens.
Saw the keeper step off her line. Nice little dink straight over the top of her. And that one is sending Seaford packing. Too much of an ask, and that has started to ring the changes for Seaford. We'll get the changes as they come on, as best as we can. 3 changes for them. We'll grab them as we go, potentially. Big ask for Seaford to salvage anything.
Sapphire Lepaperit, one of those introduced. Kenzie Brown's evening came to an end. Bridget McBride also subbed on. Two of those 3 Seaford United changes. Evening for these girls, and an opportunity for these girls to get some cup action under their belts. As there was Lepaperit who went and won it. Sousa got a foot in. Arbour couldn't steer it on. Theodosiou left it for Sato. And now Theodosiou once more. He was waiting on an overlap. And the option that presented itself was Skittlebrook. He was unable to find anyone further down the line.
It's a good opportunity for some of the Seaford players to come up against the likes of Sato, who's played in the Japanese second division. He's on a visa here in Australia. Won a title herself in NPL football. And the likes of Woolacott, who's also on a visa. He's played in the 4th division in the UK for Bentleigh. So some big pedigree out there.
It's been quite the contrast between those two. The Greens with a few arrivals who have had their footballing palettes produced elsewhere, influenced elsewhere. Celios, rather rattled one into Lepaperit. Sousa for Sato, and now Tolios, whose trickery was too much even for her own good on that occasion.
Tolios, young player herself, and she's pushing 75 NPL appearances, which is no mean feat.
I have to say, one of the more experienced members of this Bentleigh Green side, with many a top flight appearance to her name. And someone whose talent has shone this evening. As has Clemenson's, who's got away from 2 and 3 and then had her effort blocked. Knocked up by Woolacott. Does she fancy another from range? Tiptoed her way round one before a challenge came in to stop that from occurring. Here's Celios. Tolios went to press. Normington got a flick on it. Set back for McBride, who puts it in the channel, and Lepaperit had one to chase. Woolacott came across well.
You'd wonder, Bentleigh-wise, how much longer the likes of Clemenson, even Woolacott herself, have left on the pitch. No need to risk them as much anymore.
Here's Anvari. And Lepaperit's timed her run well. Flack had stayed down and then eventually does go up. Fraction offside. Just as Stojczewski came across the clear.
Stojczewski was in the team of the week as well. So she's had a aiming for a clean sheet here today and top off a good week for it.
Would be their first in the season across all competitions for Bentleigh Greens. A much needed bit of defensive respite. No one in the top flight has conceded more. And a couple more substitutions being made.
Dropping us off. Stozer, it looks like, has walked off. No. Yep. Stozer is coming off. She's been told to get off. Confirm who's come on as they go.
Chloe Stradling and Charis Kaletsas. Those two changes made by Bentleigh Greens, who are using the rotation kindly. And Normington with a gorgeous turn into a vacant net. What a way to make it 6. Silky and then razor sharp when it came to the finish.
Gets a double. She's only just come on, and that's the power of the substitutions. With a fabulous turn. Did well against the challenge from the onrushing goalkeeper to keep her feet. And then rolled her defender with ease and slotted it home in an open net.
Evans perhaps a little bit unfortunate with the ricochet. Bentleigh Greens have fired 6 on a night where they had needed a boost given their starts of the season. They've got that and then some. Firmly in the next round. And in a way, the perfect piece of preparation for the trip to Lakeside on Saturday. A really big boost for this side's confidence and their credentials. Woolacott threaded it on for Clemenson, who's round Evans. Clemenson, Bentleigh's number 7, makes it 7. 2 in quick fire. And for Bentleigh Greens, they are starting to enjoy themselves for the first time in the season.
Yeah, Clemenson finally gets rewarded for lots of hard work that she's put in today. Set up at least 2 or 3 of the Bentleigh goals themselves, and finally gets on the end of one herself. Did well to keep her feet from the onrushing Evans, who, as a standing goalkeeper herself, his scoreline doesn't do her justice, to be honest. She hasn't. A couple of good strikes and a pure class above has tainted her. As Sato tries to thread another one through.
McBride was battling. Well, able to keep it alive. Normington came across to good effect.
Shuffle in the pack as well, with Woolacott dropping into that defensive midfield role for them, for Bentleigh.
So one thing we've seen about this Bentleigh Green side tonight, it's been quite an experimental performance. Saw the front 3 usually sit to quite a rigid structure. There was a lot of fluidity in that first half to how they interchanged with one another. They're not afraid to shuffle the pieces around. This time to really good effect. In particular, that first half, Clemenson and Freya Bass were hard to handle as Normington had a go. And it found itself wide of the far post.
Looking for a hat-trick. And a hat-trick for came on at half in the second half. That would have been a good quiver in her boat.
Leading for Seaford, where There was 2 at half-time. In the second half, most unfortunately for them, it's unravelled rather quickly. Bentleigh Greens just went up a level in the second half. First half was one of control, and this was one of pure cutting edge. Sato lost out on that occasion. Get only as far as Woolacott, who battled with Anvari to go and win it. Long for Normington, who was unable to connect, unable to take it down. And just to calm things down, Evans will set it back and gather it. And then Bentleigh pepper it down the line. Straggling's challenge. Forced Le Pepper to go, not once but twice. Normington then came bundling into McBride. Sato, set for Tolios, who tidily turned from 2, moved it on to Woolacott. This may be the perfect remedy to a season that hasn't been kind to Bentleigh Green so far. And here is Sato. She fancies one from range and just didn't catch it cleanly.
Bentleigh Greens haven't 7-0 up. They haven't taken the foot off the accelerator. They want more. They're pushing, and rightly so. You, get your name on the score sheet and get that build of confidence for the run home in the season.
Wait for a win. It's well, truly into its 3rd month. Bentleigh Greens, they'll be thinking it's about time. Injury problems starting to subside. And now just getting somewhat of a stronger mix back together. Despite where they sit in the top flight at the moment, there are at least the positives of the evening to be taken with a quarter of an hour to go at Kingston Heath. 7th heaven for Bentleigh Greens.
Of course, Bentleigh will be their next task will be to ensure that the clean sheet remains. Something they've hugely struggled with is that defensive effort, and they'll want to ensure that they go home tonight with that clean sheet.
Slid up for Theodosiou. He had Duncan to go at. Woolacott was on the edge. Theodosiou threaded it for Clemenson. He tried to go around 3 and couldn't. Theodosiou then lost out and went down. And now an opportunity perhaps for Seaford to hit on the break. It was steered long by Celios for Le Paparitz. He was just unable to keep it in. Williamson's flick favoured Phillips, who could only steer it for Stoichevsky. And now Tolios. Performance of real conviction from Bentleigh Greens. Theodosiou went on for Clemenson, whose touch was a little loose. Now Anvari. He took to round 2 and now set it on for Phillips. He couldn't thread it for Celios, and then ricocheted Stoichevsky's clearance. Anvari went early. And the only run-up was one coming back from an offside position.
They'll be happy there. Mopped up tidily. They can press forward here. Norrington trying to get on to the end of it. Clemenson's been instrumental today. Swings it in. Knocked down from Norrington. And as far as Tolios gets it back. One-on-one. Round she goes. Tucks it home for her own second. Easy as you like in the end there. Few calls for offside, but the officials didn't flinch the domination continues in the second half.
And for Karina Tolios, it's really the perfect way to round out what's been a great night for her. Bentleigh Green's in cruise control, and a big part of that is to how she's played in midfield. It's just showcased such a tidy way of keeping the ball. And has shown a ruthless edge, kept her cool on that occasion. A performance of composure and control from one of Bentleigh Green's youngest and brightest stars. Evening for her, evening for them is one of restored feeling. And they hope this will be where their season starts, rather than simply a one-off. They don't want it to be a blip on the radar. Bentleigh Greens, they know a cup run could be crucial. They will want something to smile about this campaign. They've got something to smile about so far this evening. It's Kaletsis, forward, Tolios, Normington, Sato, sharp swivel. On for Theodosiou, who had Skittlebrook on the overlap. Clip for Clemenson. And seen out by Tildesley.
Welcome distraction for Bentleigh. And for the Mice watching on. A tall ask for them as well. As that one swung in deep. Warrington couldn't get a foot to it though. Evans has come a fair way out. Puts it out of danger. As we were saying, Bentleigh put their place against Beaumois in the next round. Bentleigh will host as well. It's home game for them.
It's the Beaumois side who have had quite a bright start to life themselves in the South East State League 1. They're currently 2 points ahead of Seaford. That win at the weekend took them into the top three, from above Seaford United. 5 off South Yarra, early pace setters, 4 from 4. 2 points behind Aspendale, who sits second. But will come here with the same intent as Seaford, hoping to cause a cup set. There's Normington, Stojcevski, Sato wore it and somehow steered it on. Now Harbour. On Fanvari. Stojcevski was lurking and Stojcevski was in too firmly.
That's assault.
The crowd highly agree with the officials there. It was a free kick nonetheless. Gives Seaford a chance to pop the ball forward. Looking for that ball over the top. Didn't quite get there.
Chesky's clearance just a little loose. Invited Meg Keenan to go. They gather it. Seaford themselves will be searching for some sort of consolation from the evening. Those who have made the journey right down on the coast. 40-kilometre round trip, 20 either way. Our Bentleigh Greens, however, looking to round it out in some style. Normington has lost the shin pads and steered an effort over. And still, the search for her hat-trick continues.
Where she's going, she's determined to get there. And again, Bentleigh not afraid to keep the pressure on. 8 to the good, you'd naturally be sitting off, but the chance for them to dominate a team is rare, and they're taking that opportunity. Wilmington as well, Tolios and Clemenson. for Sato, doesn't find her. Ricocheting around. Clemenson, after an errant pass, can win the ball back. And gets the arm pulled back and wins a...
Duncan just in a little bit too firmly. Stoichevski's free kick. Have Bentleigh Greens got one for the road with them? Stoichevski went immediately from it and almost wonderfully. Seaford left a vacant wall. Stoichevski was being urged to shoot. Had a go and it nearly paid off. He's charging down the line now. It's Stradling who did superbly. Sato the only one lurking. Cleared away by Tildesley. Tolios mopped it up. And was kept in the corner, one which she wins. Tolios' take. A brilliant Bentleigh Greens night under the lights. Sato was one lurking. Get away once again by Tildesley. And perhaps an opportunity now for Seaford to go charging. Keenan was happy to set it back. The return from Duncan down the line and wasn't able to be found. Final 5 minutes of what has been an evening of Bentleigh Greens fire, of Seaford faltering. Their cup exit imminent. Bentleigh Greens go on to round 5. Here is Woolacott, Clemenson. A little bit of a loose touch, invited Duncan to challenge. She went to steer it further down the line, wasn't quite able to. Theodosiou fancied a run. Clemenson kept it rolling. Tried to steer the early ball. McBride got in the way, not once but twice, and now comes charging with it. Poked it on for Anvari. She went searching for Keenan and couldn't. The Paprid in retreat did well. And Phillips forced to put a challenge in.
Seaford just trying to see the game out now. Still trying to push forwards. A little bit of hands there, but the referee's happy to continue. With a bit of all Melbourne weather today as well. It's been raining and made it nice and slick for everybody. Henry's done well to get through all the weather.
Now there's just a bit of a late night chill to Kingston Heath. And Sato, again with sharp footwork, just tiptoed away from one. Tildesley put in a terrific challenge. And now Anvari searching for Selios. Stoichevski in retreat. The Paprid could steer it with Selios once again. And Clemenson, who's dropped in as a makeshift centre half, is there to mop up and then is nearly sold short before being able to clip it out of trouble. Found its way on for Theodosiou. Wasn't quite able to fire it fully down the line. The ricochet took it away from Tolios, now on for Harbour, who clipped it on for Keenan. A touch a little loose and invited Woolacott to go and win it.
Emerson just can't get out of that defensive line. She got caught. And She was also grabbing her calf, which is one of the reasons she didn't start the start of the season. So that's hopefully only a precautionary sign, not a troubling sign.
Nothing they can afford, really, especially at this stage in the game, is to lose any through injury. It's been an injury-hampered season. That's a smashing take from Sato, who was bearing down. Tilsley was in retreat and did terrifically. Gorgeous turn. And it took a terrific challenge just to put an end to her charge forward.
So he's done brilliantly there, and you can expect a tired legs of a almost 90 minutes into the game. You can expect that up against a relatively fresh pair of legs in the defensive line there.
Clemson speared it long. Duncan was in retreat. Was given a bit of a barge and conceded a corner. So maybe a late look for one last little bit of Bentleigh Green's joy. What a Wednesday for them. Cup progression sorted. First win of the season in all competitions about to be checked off. And possibly a first clean sheet of the season about to be checked off too. As Sato. Is there one for the road? The shot was blocked for Vaselios. Was mopped up by Clemenson. Lovely turn from Woolacotts. She went from range. Will be a goal kick. But that being said, a Seaford side who their first half effort was spirited, and their second they were swept away by a Bentleigh Greens side just restored in confidence. Sato, is there still time for one more? Perhaps not, but a night of Bentleigh Green's reinvention. One where they've been re-galvanised. Round 5 beckons at the end of quite a convincing win. Their first in all competitions for the campaign. Full time at Kingston Heath. Bentleigh Greens 8, Seaford United 0.